This podcast is not a substitute for a relationship with a mental health professional. Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome again, family, to the Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast by your girl, Andrea Wise-Brown. I am so happy that you are here with me again today as I sit here in my office and I'm really thinking about how I want to encourage you and how I want to empower you. And just recently, I was asked to be a mental health expert on Nurse Alice. It's her internet show. Her name is Nurse Alice, and she is the bomb.com out here in our community helping everybody. Before I get started, I need to remind you, family, please, while you are watching, or if you're listening, please go to YouTube. And what I want you to do is to subscribe and hit that bell so that you know, and I guess you can also do that on the podcast. Yeah. So you want to subscribe so that you know when a new episode is coming out. And on some days, the message that is up a lot of times could be the message that you need to hear on that day. So today, though, what we're talking about is going back to what I was talking about on Nurse Alice's show, this thing called skin starvation or skin hunger. So I don't know if you have even heard of what that thing is, family, of skin hunger or skin starvation, but it's really interesting. So it actually came, I would say was triggered. The conversation was triggered from a TikTok that kind of went viral. And I want you all to take a moment here and watch it.
I am really struggling with something and I want to talk about it. But before I do, I need people, if you are a parent who was like touched out by your children, I do not want to see you in the comments. If you are someone with any kind of neurodivergency and it manifests or shows up as you not liking touch or people touching you, I do not want to see you in the comments. Okay? But I feel like I'm dying from like touch starvation, y'all. I don't get hugs. I don't know. I feel like if I were to get the kind of hug that I fucking really want, I would crumble into pieces. I don't. How do you deal with that? I really like need to be like touched. And I know someone's gonna say like, okay, go to the salon and get your hair done, or get a massage, or get your nails done, right? So someone can hold your hand. None of those people love me. None of those services love me. Right? But I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling with like I don't get hugs. That shit is it could be like maybe a hello, whatever, maybe, but it's not enough. I don't know how how am I gonna go the rest of my life like this? I think that's really hard. I'm just really struggling. I'm really struggling. Like I spent like last night just going like this. Like 20 minutes. I'm just, if anyone else is struggling, what are you doing?
Okay, so now I am hoping that you have many thoughts about it and many opinions about it because um, the young lady said that she has been dealing with this for the past 5 years. And so, what this is sounding like is that the pandemic that we all went through, which was a really scary time, may have been the thing that impacted her not being touched, not being around people, which brought about this whole skin hunger, where her skin is hungry for touch. This is interesting. This is a very interesting topic because what I'm wondering is how many people out there are experiencing this skin hunger or touch starvation. It's a real thing. So now, in regards to the TikTok that we just saw, what I want to say to that beautiful young woman is, I wish that I was right there so I could hug her. I just want to hug her. I just want to hug her and give her love. That's what I want to do. However, I don't know that she'd be open for it because she kind of has a list of who she wants to hug her and who she doesn't want to hug her. And hopefully, at the end of this show, you will see the benefit of having hugs as long as they are healthy hugs, especially if you are experiencing this whole skin hunger, skin starvation. But as to speak to her, I am sending much love her way, and I just wish that I could hug her. Hopefully she can hear this and maybe learn a little something. But if you're going through this, I want to teach you something too. I want to talk about it, and then I want to kind of teach you what to do, some cute little short little steps of what to do if your body is starving to be touched. Skin hunger. So it is a thing. I just want to keep repeating that. Like it sounds a little maybe weird because it's not something that we've heard of, but it is really a thing. And let me just tell you this, when people are when they have skin hunger or they are deprived of touch, they really can become stressed out. They can become overwhelmed with sadness. They can become depressed. Through that process, being stressed out, the cortisol levels can be can be on the rise, which can also turn into high inflammation in your body, which can then result in issues with your organs in your body. Stress exacerbates any illness that you have that's just laying dormant in your body. So we want to keep our stress level down as low as possible. And if skin hunger or skin starvation, touch starvation is one of the triggers for you to be stressed, then I'm here to help you because I want to keep your stress down. And what I want to tell you is this, because we warding off anxiety and we are warding off depression here on this Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast, because I'm just going to always show you how to do that. But let me just tell you this, there was something that she said. She said something like, so for anyone who's listening, if you're telling me that I should go get a massage, or or I'll get my nails done or my feet done, then I don't want to hear that because those people don't love me. Those people don't love me. So for me, what I'm assessing from that is this is a little bit more than touch starvation that she's dealing with, or skin hunger. It sounds like she has skin hunger, but she wants the skin to be full or fed from specific people. Because when you're just dealing with plain old skin hunger, then let me tell you, a massage is helpful. A manicure or a pedicure, it is helpful because weak bonds, because that would be considered a weak bonds they strengthen immunity and well-being. Another weak bond, so yes, massages, that's a weak bond, but it does it does strengthen immunity and well-being. Another weak bond could be getting out the house and going to the supermarket and interacting with a clerk, a fist bump. That's a weak bond. Or this is another one I'm suggesting is going to church, going to community meetings. And the reason why I say church, because when we think about bonds, even if they're weak bonds, I want them to be healthy bonds. I want you to be connected. I want your skin to be connected with someone else's skin, but in a healthy way, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about healthy human touch. And so when I think about that, I'm thinking about church, and I'm thinking about, some of the older ladies in the church who really just want to give you a mama or a grandmama hug. They just want to wrap their arms around you and just let you know that everything's going to be okay. So those hugs in the church from those elders, those mothers of the church, can be helpful. Or friends and family. So I would like you to reach out to your friends and family. And if you're going over to play games, or sometimes you can just say, you know, "Eh, give me a hug. I just want a hug." Because this is the deal. Good touch sends sensations to the brain that activates the oxytocin in your brain. And what that does is it lessens your anxiety, and it actually lessens the amount of shifts in your mood, depression. It lessens it. And that's good touch because it does send sensations to the brain. So we do want to engage in good touch no matter where we are getting touch from. Human touch actually regulates sleep, digestion, builds your immunity, and it fights infection. So touch is so, so, so important. That's why I really thought that this was important for us to talk about it. However, remember, I said good touch, healthy touch. So we want to make sure that you are getting out and touching other people and being around other people, people who make you feel safe. I don't want you just thinking, if this is something that you're going through, if you're going through touch starvation, I don't want you just minimizing connection or touch from any person. Because remember what I said to you, weak bonds do strengthen your immune system and your well being. So, I'm just saying, don't you dismiss or minimize touch. Touch, good touch. Get out and touch others. Tell people, I want a hug. I want a hug. Yeah, I am a hugger, even though I will tell you the truth, since the whole pandemic came about, hugging was taboo for a while. And even now, I think we kind of do pause a little bit. We do a little shady, pause. When we meet and somebody, we like a shady little pause because we ain't trying to recatch the new disease that's out here that's just going, come through here and take our people out, and we don't want to be taken out just by being kind and hugging. So I will say that it did kind of impede on hugging and touch. The pandemic did. However, but nowadays, I think that we are in a much healthier space, although there are still diseases and illnesses out there. But there are ways to keep ourselves safe and clean. We done learned all about that good old hand sanitizer. You know what I'm saying? Maybe before the hug and then after the hug. Like before, years ago, we used to pick up a baby. You put your hand sanitizer on, you wash your hands before, and then you wash your hands after. We can do that and then still hug. So we're hugging in healthy ways. We're hugging in healthy ways. Okay, and so listen, if you were to say to me, okay, Andrea, so I hear that you saying maybe go to the church, because having good touch is good if I feel like my skin is starving and my skin is hungry. Okay, so what are some other ways, Andrea, that I can come out of this if this is something that I'm dealing with? First, acknowledge that I'm lonely. Acknowledge that I need some skin to skin. Acknowledge that I need to be touched. Acknowledge that I need to be around some other people. So that's the first step, is you acknowledging it. Don't deny it. It's not weird to want to be around others. We were created to be around others and to connect to others. So please, acknowledgement is number one. Number two is to choose and commit to do something about it. I ain't just going to talk about it. I'm not just going to think about it. I am going to commit to doing something about it, even if it's uncomfortable. Commitment doesn't matter. Don't like it, doesn't feel good, but I'm committed to doing something about it, no matter how I feel. Because I will tell you this, and you'll hear me say this over and over again. Hmm. Sometimes the hardest part of doing something is thinking about it. Sometimes we get too caught up in thinking and then we don't do. So freak all that. Okay, even if I'm thinking about it, doesn't matter. Does not matter because I am committed and I will honor my commitment to do something about my loneliness and my skin starving. And then number 3, this is huge, what I need you guys to do, because research has shown that technology in regards to social media is bringing about so many people's depression and anxiety. It is making people sick. It's making us sick. You want to know why? Because the more time that you spend on social media, you will find yourself comparing your situation, your life, your friendships, your family to what you're seeing there. And the reality is it's curated for you to do exactly that. But it's not even true. Most of the stuff that you see on social media is not true. And I'm a chick that loves a fact. So if I know that something is not factual, I'm not even entertaining it. I will not entertain it. I will not allow it in. I ain't thinking about it. I'm just not giving it my energy. So now that I know, especially when I've been around people and I've seen them take pictures and they're about to post a picture, and before they post them, child, they got all these apps that's cleaning up this, changing their arms, changing their legs, changing their backs, who are you? And who have I been seeing? Because it ain't you. A lot of times when you see those people, they don't look like that. And the cars that they driving, they're not their cars. And the houses that they're in, they're not their house. And the men and the women who they hanging out with, ain't they friends or they boyfriends or their girlfriends, okay? Fake. So we ain't getting into that. Especially when you're in a space where you're feeling lonely. If you are feeling lonely, absolutely not. Stay off of it. Please limit your time on social media. If you have a business that you really need to promote and you want to use it because it's free, you get up there, you post your stuff, you like a few things, and then you get your behind off. Because I'm telling you, it will create more pain for you, especially if you are in this space where you are feeling like you are touch starved and your skin is hungry and you are feeling lonely. So we ain't doing that. The other thing I want you to do, if you are home by yourself, spending a lot of time alone, feeling lonely, limit the amount of alcohol. Point blank, alcohol is a depressant. Drink with your friends, but if you're lonely and not wanting to go out, you limit your intake of alcohol. And number 5, this is the last thing I just want to tell you on this topic today, is I want you to be intentional about doing something. So you remember your commitment. Be intentional about putting one foot in front of the other and doing all of these things and then getting out the house. I want you to go to church. Remember, I told you, find some big mamas and get some of those good hugs. They waiting for you. They want to hug you. Remember, weak bonds strengthen immunity. Get out. Go to the supermarket. Go to the farmer's market. Meet with people. Say hi to people. Some people want to do a fist pump even if you don't want to hug them, and then that's okay. Get your massages. Good old massage with somebody just buttering your whole body up. Beneficial. Get your nails done. Get your feet done. Massaging your hands and your feet. Honey, if your body is starved for touch, those are the things that can be helpful. Remember, we are warding off depression and anxiety. Join a class, a yoga class, join a stretch class, join a dance class, an exercise class. Oh, another thing, you can look at some of these meetups. They have these meetups on like Facebook or wherever, where they have these meetups that are in your area. I think on Google, I'm not sure, but they do have these meetups. You can volunteer where you are connecting with people who share the same interests. When you are volunteering your time and giving of yourself, honey, that raises the dopamine level. That's a neurotransmitter in your brain, that natural feel good. That raises that, and that makes you feel so good that you're going to want to hug somebody else. And then they going to want to hug you because y'all are on the same mission together. Oh, I'm telling you, join the meetups, volunteer, all of those things. But I want you to be intentional about getting out here and doing something about it. I love the conversation. I love to speak your truth and to say, I'm hurting, I'm yearning for some touch. I love all of that. But what I also love more than all of it is for you to be intentional about getting up and about doing something about it. Remember, human touch regulates sleep, digestion, builds immunity, and it fights infection. What you have to remember, if you've ever had children, or if you heard of someone who's had children, they will tell you when you have that baby, when it first comes out, your hoo-ha, wherever your stomach, your hoo-ha, what they do is they lay that baby on your body for that skin to skin touch. Because what that does is it brings about healthy development. So touch does matter, and you need to be touched. But I'm talking about good touch, not just random touch. And then people out here, don't you just be trying to randomly touch nobody. I'm talking about a touch that's consensual. And did y'all know this fun fact? Did y'all know that in America, we just period, we are touch deprived? We touch deprived. So it means that look, there was a recent research that was done that says that we literally we engage in touch twice a day. Twice a day, 2 times a day. So this is even parents of children or people who are in relationships 2 times a day. And that's including sex. So that means if you're in a relationship and you done banged it out and had some good old sex, that's like considered one touch. But that's in America compared to the Philippines. Because in the Philippines, do you know the average person touches 181 times per day? Come on, America. We got to get ourselves together. We got to get to touching. But remember, consensual touch. Consensual touch. Okay, y'all. So I want you to make sure that you take care of yourselves, family. Take care of yourselves. Please take care of yourselves. And continue to watch the show, to share the show, to pass it on to I said share it, to pass it on to other people. Whether you're listening on the podcast, please do this. Whether you're watching on YouTube, do this. I would love you to be a subscriber on both. Click the bell on both so that you know when we pop in, when I'm coming up with a new episode. Because what I am here to do is to work for you. I am here to empower you to live your best life. Okay? And we are going to do this thing together. So remember, good touch sends sensations to the brain that releases oxytocin, honey. So it makes you feel good and it wards off anxiety and depression. And I'm going to repeat, weak bonds strengthen immunity and well-being too. All right, family. So you are on your way. No more touch starvation here. We will have no more skin hunger here. Oh, and wait a minute. Hold up. I want y'all to stay away from them cuddle parties. Now, I done did some research on the cuddle parties, and there is not enough research out there for me to support telling y'all to go to these cuddle parties. Because y'all know these is people out here who really you can pay them to cuddle you. Oh yeah, they are actually certified cuddlers. So yeah, I'm gonna find a certified cuddler. I'm gonna have them up on the show, and I'm gonna interview them so that we can get some more research. I ain't telling you to go to no cuddle party. Come on, family. I'm not. I'm just trying to let you know, educate you on what's out there. Your girl gonna do the work for you, but you already know what to do because I already gave you your list of what to do. And if you have any questions that you want me to answer, please email me. Email the podcast at mhialpodcast@gmail.com. mhialpodcast@gmail.com. Follow the podcast on spelled out Mental Health is a Lifestyle Pod on Instagram, on Facebook. Follow it, please. You want to DM me, and then you can personally all my social media handles, awisebrown.com, AWISEBROWN, awisebrown.com. That's for A Wise Brown. That's for Instagram, all of the social media handles. And then you got awisebrown.com if you want to get in contact with me. Okay. So everything is awisebrown.com. All right, family. It is your girl, Andrea Wise-Brown, and I love you. I love you long time. So get out there and do some consensual touch. And if you find yourself inside not getting out and your skin is hungry or starving, get out. Be intentional. I love you, and I will see you on the next episode of Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast by Andrea Wise-Brown.